Hi, my name is Sean Humphreys. Welcome to the presentation, What Does Retirement Look Like? Retirement is one of life's grand transitions and deserves some careful reflection on what it will actually look like when we retire. Now, this presentation really is focused to those people who are planning their retirement, and they're not quite there yet, but it's just over the horizon. They can begin to taste it, and they are beginning to visualize what it might look like. Now, if you are retired currently, you'll still get some good benefit from this presentation. It might provoke you to some thinking that you haven't done before, and there's some reflection exercises that you might find helpful. Now, for some people, when they're working full time and it takes up a lot of their week, retirement may look a little bit scary. It's kind of like this vast void. What are they going to do with their time? And for others who have a range of activities and involvements already, retirement may look like an exciting period to expand on these activities and squeeze even more enjoyment out of them. If you already know what you'll do, you already have these activities, you're pretty lucky. Most people haven't given it a lot of thought, how they're going to make that transition from full-time work to retirement. Well, so now is your chance. We're going to give you some reflection exercises to kind of give you some context to think about so you can begin working on your dreams and desires and what you really want to do to achieve them once you move into the retirement phase. So we're going to take a look at 3 scenarios to provoke some thinking. And so, maybe you're doing some volunteer work and this is something you really want to do more of. You feel quite a deep desire to give back to your community and use your gifts and abilities and skills that you've acquired during your working career. However, you don't really want to be too busy. You want to strike a balance between giving back but also having time for walks with your partner and helping out with the grandchildren possibly and looking after that rose garden of yours. So you're trying to strike a balance between that giving back volunteer component that's important to you but time for your own personal pursuits as well. Well, in this scenario, you can't see yourself not working and making money. That's just part of your DNA. You have a landscaping business on the side, and you've decided that retirement will be a time for really developing the business. So develop a team that can do the work, and you'll look after the quotes and the oversight. You really like being outdoors and being busy, and the extra money will come in handy for you when you do some traveling in the winter and when the business is not as active. And maybe this scenario is something that resonates with you. You really like to do traveling. You want to do more of it when you retire, but you'll be in a fairly tight budget. And so you found the perfect option. It's to have a volunteer position with organizations that need assistance around the world. As long as you can pay your travel costs, your food and lodging's looked after. So you'll be able to extend your stay through your volunteer work. And while you're doing that, you can explore a new area and a new culture. It's a perfect fit for that transition. So as you can see, retirement can be an exciting transition to something new. So what I want you to do is to go to a worksheet that goes along with this video. It's called What I Like and What I Don't Like About My Life. Now this is your opportunity to begin dreaming and then ultimately making some action plans and some of the changes you want to make in your life and how retirement from your current work can help you to initiate these changes. And once you've completed the worksheet, what I like and what I don't like about my life, go on to the next worksheet, changing your life and your lifestyle, and begin working through how you can do more of what you'd like to do and less of what you don't like to do. Okay, what you see in front of you is a worksheet we've developed for this presentation. It's entitled What I Like and Don't Like About My Life. As I've mentioned in the beginning of this worksheet, retirement planning leads to the potential of new beginnings and possibly remaking your life in certain areas. So to assist you in this process of reflection, the following worksheet will help you identify what you like and don't like in your current life and can assist you in identifying some key change goals. And so as you scroll through the worksheet, we've got questions on your living arrangements, your leisure time, relationships, health as an example. And so what I'd like you to do is spend a few minutes going through and thinking about what you like about each of those areas of your life and some of the things that you dislike. And so the goal is to try to find ways of doing more of what you like and trying to find ways of getting out of a situation where those dislikes are a part of your life. We all have things that maybe we dislike or don't enjoy doing. This is not going to be a perfect exercise, but I think it's worth reflecting on and seeing how we can move more and more to the like category. Okay, this worksheet we call Changing Your Lifestyle, and this is a continuation, really flows from the previous worksheet. And so what I'd like you to do is, again, fill in the likes in this left-hand column, and then go through and fill in the dislikes, and then develop a specific action plan beside each of these about how you could do potentially more of each of these likes. Now, this is a brainstorming exercise. Again, it's worth spending the time to go through it. And then list your dislikes and what you could do from an action plan standpoint to do fewer of these things. So again, these PDF documents are part of the notes underneath this video. I'd encourage you to download them, print them off, and work through the exercise. So again, I want you to reflect on what your needs are in retirement. You know, when we're working, we're not always aware of the needs that are met in our life when we work for a living. You know, your work may be providing you with meaning. It could be challenging you intellectually, or possibly work meets a lot of your social and relational needs. And as you transition to and through retirement, you need to find ways to meet those needs once you transition out of the work world. Maybe it's going back to school, and for some of you it's ramping up your volunteer activities, like I said before, or for others maybe there are some artistic pursuits that you want to cultivate. So go to the Satisfying Your Needs in Retirement worksheet and begin reflecting on these questions. How will you spend your time? Before you retire, a great reflection exercise is to review how you spend your time now and how you spend your time when you retire. In the worksheet, How Will You Spend Your Time?, we'd encourage you to reflect on how you currently spend your time for things like sleeping and eating, personal grooming, household tasks, reading, hobbies, TV, entertainment, relaxing hobbies, socializing with friends and family. We then have a second pie chart on the page, and you may want to imagine how you'd spend your time when you're retired. If this gets you a little bit worried, now is the time to begin cultivating some interests or hobbies or activities that you can cultivate even further before you retire. And when you retire, it's not a great time to begin exploring brand new activities. You want to begin to groove in some of these activities now so you can make a successful retirement transition. Now, for some of you, your life has been so tied up with work and family commitments that pretty much everything else has been pushed off to the sidelines. So what I'd like you to do is start with the question, if I had time to pursue activities that I would enjoy or have always hoped I could find time to do, what would they be? Make a list of people you know who have transitioned successfully to retirement. Although every situation is unique, they may have some words of wisdom that could prove very helpful. So the worksheet you see in front of you is leisure time before and after retirement. This first one is before retirement. So it's a fairly straightforward exercise. I want you to, again, print this off, reflect on it. How are you spending your time? What's your typical workday look like, and how are you spending your weekends? What are those activities? What are you up to? What do you enjoy doing? How much time do you have to do various activities in your schedule? So this particular worksheet is your schedule after retirement. So you've brainstormed a little bit and reflected on how you spend your time through the week and the weekends. What I'd like you to do now is to dream a little bit. Well, how would you spend your time if you were retired, had lots of flexibility with your schedule? Where would you allocate your time? So spend a few minutes right now going through this exercise. Well, I hope you have spent some time working through the exercise about how you're spending time now and how you'll likely spend time when you retire. What about part-time work? I think this is a really important area to take a look at in our overall retirement plan. And for many clients that I've worked with, very often the transition to full retirement has not been immediate. More often than not, I've seen clients who've worked part-time or have even transitioned into full-time careers after they've retired from a career that they spent many years at. So retirement is very much a transition, but sometimes it's a transition, like I said, to a brand new career. More often than not, it's a transition to part-time work, some consulting work. And I'll give you some examples. I've had clients between the ages of 55 and 60 typically who are ready to retire from their primary careers, but still felt they had something to offer other organizations, or they even felt inspired to start their own businesses. Now, for some of these clients, part-time work was an important financial bridge to full retirement. It allowed them to grow their retirement assets for a few more years before putting real pressure on these financial assets to produce income. So the bottom line is this transition from your current career to possibly something new creates an opportunity for new beginnings or new challenges and getting untangled from the current mix of commitments in your current career that sometimes are getting you down and frustrated. Sometimes a change is as good as a rest. So making this transition to something new can be very exciting. So does this resonate with you at all? Well, here are some points to keep in mind. So first of all, look around you. How's the work world changed in the last 10 to 15 years? You may be in a work world where you've been somewhat insulated from the changes because of seniority, for example. However, once you jump back into the world of work without the protection of your current environment, are there skills or training that you may be lacking that you need to begin thinking about before you make this transition to retirement and maybe looking for some part-time work? So if there are gaps, part of your retirement planning may involve some extra training or study or accreditation. So what I'd encourage you to do is to take a look at your current constellation of skills. What do you like doing? What do you do well? Maybe you're good at bookkeeping or looking after animals or arranging social functions. Maybe it's playing an instrument. Maybe you can do some gigs as part of your retirement plan. What about writing and editing or speaking a foreign language? Or maybe you simply have handyman skills. It's something you've always done on the side and you'd like to do more of it. Anyway, I think you get the basic idea. Spend some time making an inventory of the skills and interests and give some thought as to how you could apply these skills. In addition to doing a skills assessment, there are a lot of resources. One great book is called What Color is Your Parachute? And I've got some links to some helpful resources that can point you in specific directions to get you ready for this important transition in your life. Lois Ferris, a job transitions coach, encourages people to ask the following questions. What do I want to do and why do I want to do it? What would you love to do? The next step is to find someone who will pay you to do this. Isn't that great? It's so true. List every organization or group that might provide an opportunity for you. Better still, invite 2 or 3 creative and connected people to meet with you to brainstorm. You'll be amazed at how many ideas and opportunities that will come up through this brainstorming exercise. Now explore the ideas a few at a time. Choose the ones that have the strongest appeal. Contact people you know or would like to know who have the information about the options you have chosen. Ask for a 15-minute interview, cup of coffee, take along a notebook. Most people will give you their time, and they'll give you ideas. And if you're still working full-time, even 3 hours a week strategically planned can produce some amazing results. Spend time in local newspapers, online to get ideas and names, and then begin contacting people to discuss opportunities as you see them. Begin to network. It doesn't have to be a lot of time initially, but you need to create some momentum. So let everyone you know that you're job hunting. Don't depend on the phone. Go to interviews. Meet people for lunch. Volunteer. Spread the word. Focus on the needs of the people that you're talking to. Make sure they understand the value you can give back, and make it clear that you're striving for ways to understand and to add value to their organizations. And like I said, nurture your network. Show your network that you value and appreciate them. Stay top of mind with them. Send them notes. Send them cards. They'll remember you, and they'll likely work to open doors for you. And like I said before, update your knowledge and skills by attending conferences and taking courses, volunteering. They all play an important role. So one of the options you can have that often people pursue is starting their own businesses. And starting a business can be a great way of parlaying your hobbies and skills and interests into a money-making opportunity. In this digital age, it's getting easier and easier to get the word out about your specialized expertise. And be sure you understand this. You do have specialized expertise. Nobody has your unique constellation of skills and experiences and abilities. We continue to see governments and large employers cut back their full-time payrolls. However, they still need to get work done. And this often creates opportunities for private consultants and business people. They can play an important role of filling gaps in expertise and services. A business can give you independence and some freedom to explore your passions and ideas. However, as we all know, it's not easy. It can take a lot of work and energy and often capital to get a business up and running. In the early phases of the business, you may need to wear a lot of different hats, including marketing and sales, production, administration, accounting. Many books have been written on the topic, but there are a few points to keep in mind. So first of all, you need a business concept that has a realistic chance of being successful. Ideas come from recognizing trends in society, goods and services that people will need and want, and maybe you can develop a product or service based on your own unique expertise. You want to build a business around your own experiences and skills and insight. If you can find a niche, you will increase your chances of success. And try to stay away from fads. Create something that is enduring and what the market truly needs. So be sure you become a study of demographic trends and changes. Understand what people are needing and doing. And once you have some ideas, find ways of testing those ideas. So, what are the qualities of a successful business owner? There are some tried and true factors and character qualities that will need to be fostered and developed if you want to start a business. So, for instance, sufficient capital to fund cash flow for at least 2 years is one important component. It takes time to get that billing and accounts receivable cycle going to the point that there's a stable and dependable and hopefully growing revenue stream. There are some entrepreneurial qualities that need to be there: drive, ambition, determination, creativity, commitment, and enough optimism to keep you in the dream. A positive attitude and enthusiasm to convince customers and suppliers and employees to partner and to buy from you and to buy into your dream. You need to have the capacity for hard work and the ability to focus attention for long periods of time. You need to have confidence in yourself and what you're doing. And you need to cultivate your presentation skills to sell ideas and products to the people you meet. A willingness to take calculated risks once you've studied the situation, leadership and team building skills, obviously honesty and integrity, and you need people that are supportive who share your dreams and are offering encouragement. Okay, so we talked about various avenues to pursue. Let's take a little bit more time looking at volunteer work. Why consider it? Well, maybe paid work is not something you need from a financial standpoint, but you feel that you still want to use your skills, connections, and interests that you've cultivated over years in a productive way that would help your community. Of course, that's where volunteering can come in. On average, people who volunteer their time experience really high levels of life satisfaction. It provides purpose, brings recognition, contributes to a sense of belonging, and can improve your skills and abilities. It stimulates the mind, the body, and the soul, helps to keep you young. So doing community service is a great way of easing the transition from full-time paid work to retirement. And rather than people parachuting into an unstructured retirement, the volunteer world or work can provide some level of structure to the days or weeks that can be a great way of assisting people in this transition through retirement. Maybe it's working with unwed mothers or fundraising for your church, reading to kids at the local elementary school, or being a companion for a shut-in. There are all kinds of possibilities that you can pursue. Well, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Really, it's a primer to get you thinking about what retirement will look like. You need to reflect on your current activities and interests and time, and then begin thinking about what that will look like when you retire. Be sure to print off the worksheets that we prepared with this presentation and take the time to work through them. I think it'll be very instructive once you get into the practical components of actually moving into retirement. Wishing you all the best in this transition. If you have more questions about retirement, don't hesitate to email me at shumphreys@asante.com. You can reach us by phone at area code 204-977-8049 or visit my website at www.seanhumphreys.com.